Well, Ian, I would like to ask you, have you ever actually played any Final Fantasy games?
I played a little bit of 9. When we were little kids, you actually got it for me for my birthday one year. I think I was like 11 or 12. Maybe. We were like little kids. Yeah. If anyone doesn't know, we've been friends since we were like 9 years old. So, yeah, long time.
And we're in our 30s now. So.
Very long time. Yeah, we're in our 30s now. So, 20 plus years with you. Oh my God, I think I'm almost done.
I can't wait till it ends.
There's a lot of cool stuff in this set, and for once, I'm the unprepared one compared to you. You looked a little bit more through it than I did.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I saw your list. I added a few ones on here that I thought were worth talking about. And yeah, we might bring up Final Fantasy shit as we're going through it, but let's get right into the review, I guess. And for once, this is a really big role reversal thing, because for once, I'm going to say, Trevor, why the hell is this card on the list?
Dramatic pause. I love it.
All right. Well, review actually starts now.
Okay, this card's actually good.
Really fucking good. You could start us off.
Oh, thanks for giving me the I don't even know how to pronounce this. Louisoix? Louisoix's?
Louisoix? Louisoix?
Louisoix's Sacrifice.
I don't know.
So for 1 blue, you get an instant that says, as an additional cost, cast a spell, sacrifice a legendary creature, or pay 2. And then you can counter target activated ability, triggered ability, or non-creature spell. They actually
Every Rogue deck with blue just creamed their pants.
They actually printed a stifle effect that people would play.
Yeah. Even at its low end of 1 blue and 2 other, yeah, that's, 3 for a counterspell is bad, but it's like, dude, it's still not that bad. It's non-creature spell activated or triggered ability. Like, it's just a better disallow that only hits for 1 off of like ad nause type stuff, and that has alternative costs that in a Rogsai auto include, Rograk, Thrasios auto include. I mean, I'm going to run it in my Thrasios Vial Smasher deck because I would sacrifice Thrasios if it means stopping a Thassa's Oracle or some other, super important spell that I don't want to resolve. Absolutely.
I'm not sure if I'll run this in my Tivit deck. I'm actually
probably not.
kind of thinking, because I do run a decent amount of legendary creatures in that deck, so I do have options. But I don't think I would. I do. Sisse for sure.
Sisse would run this.
For sure.
Anything, I was even considering it in Kinnan, because most likely you just have the extra mana. But in a pinch where it's like, hey, someone's going to resolve a Thassa's Oracle, and, this is the only way to stop it. I mean, or some other sort of ability or just a spell in general. I'm debating that. That one's going to be difficult to really make the argument for. I just feel like the slots are so competitive in that deck at this point where, what would I take out? I don't know. Would I want to take out a Dispel? That's just more so a guaranteed. I don't have to sacrifice anything or pay 3 mana to, have an extra counter and a counter war.
Yeah.
Is it worth something like this? I don't know. So, but definitely in Rogthras, Rogsai. Oh my God. Yeah. Auto include. This might be the best card from the set.
I think it's one of them that's not a commander. Actually, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's not a commander.
Minus the commanders, this is probably the best card out of the set. I think this card you will definitely see play.
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't think there's too much more to say about it. It's just really good.
Yeah. I mean, if I can run this card, I'm going to run this card because I love Stifle effects. I just don't like Stifle or Trick Bind. I think they're too narrow of options.
Tell that to this guy, Sky, I was playing with. Awesome guy. He plays Kinnan too. He's learning how to play cEDH. Disallows my Thassa's Oracle trigger. After I resolved that, and that's on the stack. No one responded. Demonic Consultation. Okay, here we go. Disallowed. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. It was awesome. I'm pretty sure he ended up winning that game.
Hell yeah.
It was like, holy shit. Nice fucking win. And he's just getting started and learning to play. And now I would immediately recommend that he switches out Disallow and puts this in.
For sure.
Just because it's just better in general. Even if you are still paying the 3 mana. But yeah. He's also an asshole and bolts my bird or mental missteps my Birds of Paradise. So if you're listening for some reason, Sky, fuck you. But good win. He's an awesome dude. I'm just giving him shit. But yeah, no, fantastic card here.
All right, yeah.
I think
moving on.
Moving on. Okay, so this is one that was brought up to me by a couple people just in general. So we've got Matoya Archon Elder. It's 2 and a blue for a legendary creature, human warlock. It's a 1/4. Whenever you scry or surveil, draw a card. So people were asking, do Thrasios decks play this? And I don't know, I'm kind of on the fence. At first I'm like, 3 mana, I don't know. But imagine like those types of like a TNT deck. I don't know if the slots are very, very competitive in that deck. Same with like Blue Farm, any of those 4-color good stuff piles that are super grindy and can, have full of value engines are really hard to compete with. But imagine this in Seedborn Muse where you do the initial scry and you just get double draws off of Thrasios triggers.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I like that.
That's pretty damn good. And if you got Seedborn Muse out with this, you're drawing, and sometimes those decks are able to activate Thrasios like multiple times, especially if they get one of those, Biomancer's Familiar, in like Rog Thras. I've been messing around with that deck, and you get Seedborn out and like Nyx Bloom Ancient and Biomancer's Familiar, and all of a sudden you're like, yeah, I can activate Thrasios like 5 times on your turn. On each player's turn because of Seedborn Muse. And then this makes you double up your draws. So it's like I'm drawing 30 cards around, like in a go around. I don't know. It's comes across a little bit like a win more, but at the same time, it could be really good. I don't know. How do you feel about it?
I like it. Like you said, if you can activate Thrasios like 5 times on a turn, you're drawing 5 extra cards. Or even just, the 1 extra card advantage for 3. That's not bad. I was actually, when I saw this, I wasn't even thinking about Thrasios, but now that you mention it, that's pretty good.
And there's one card that I'll bring up later where the Surveil will come into play. So keep this one in the back of your mind. For that.
Also, everyone keeps playing those Surveil lands. I know that's probably not a reason to run this guy, but either way. So,
Well, there is.
I think
That's
in a
actually
Thrasio,
it'll come up later, but it has to do with that.
okay. Moving on.
But yeah, no. Finish your thought.
No, that was my thought. I think in Thrasios, definitely an option. Can't think of any other reason to run it though. So only really in Thrasios would you want to run this.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking too. Like a heavy focus Thrasios type deck. But yeah, we can look at some Rog Thras lists at some point if we want. But the slot, it would be like very difficult to take anything out of those decks at this point. It was really hard for me. I threw a list together and I even cut Breach out of it. I know like a lot of the really good lists have Breach in it, but I've also seen some that have top tournaments and they aren't running Breach because honestly, in a teamer deck, do you really have that many tutors for it? It's just kind of like something that you stumble upon and then you probably win, but I don't know.
No.
But that's for another day. Maybe we get someone on about and talk about Rog Thras because that deck is insane right now.
I've noticed. It's very impact. What is the word I'm thinking of? It's very fast. It's very explosive. There we go. It's very explosive deck.
Yes, it's like mana dot deck. It's Kinnan if he injected a syringe of red into his arms. Like it's just Kinnan injected with red.
Nice.
At least the play style, not the big flip, but like the super explosive shitload of mana going infinite. And there's so many ways to do it. You can play Kinnan and Basalt, Devoted Druid, Machine God's Effigy. You have all the Gaia's Cradle loops. You have some weird loops with like, is it Guild Mage and Dramatic Reversal? Yeah, I mean, there's just a ton of stuff. But yeah, we can move on. So maybe in Thrasios decks. Okay. Interesting. Oh yeah, I saw this one too. Relm sketching.
So Realm Sketching is a sorcery for 2 and 2 blue that reads create a token that's a copy of target artifact, creature, or land. And so the only reason I put this on the list was I'm thinking copying Gaia's Cradles and shit.
Yeah.
Like that's super impactful in the format right now. Everyone who's running green is usually running a Gaia's Cradle and trying to abuse that Gaia's Cradle. So might as well try and copy the Gaia's Cradle. But is it a good card? Probably not. I just like that you get to create a token that's a copy of a land. I think that's pretty cool.
I see. Yeah, that's the only part that I saw this and I wasn't going to add it to the list, but it's the fact that it's a sorcery and it's a token copy. If this were a creature, if it was like Clever Impersonator, but it just said it can enter as a copy of target artifact, creature, or land, I'd say that is a different story because that could be played in Kinnan. You can flip into it. But the sorcery, the fact that it's like a spell, it's easier to counter. You're paying 4 for it. And then it's the token copy where if they bounce it, although it's harder to target like a land, most people aren't bouncing a land. So yeah, if you have this come in as a copy of a Gaia's Cradle or something similar, that's the use for it. It basically says that in my mind.
Yeah. Pay 4 for a Gaia's Cradle. You're playing Esper, pay 4 for a Gaia's Cradle.
Yeah, I'd say probably not, but it's close. It's like one of those cards where it's close. It's getting there.
Yeah.
Now, if this was instant speed 3 mana, that's a different story.
Oh, instant speed 3 mana? I would run this for sure.
Yeah. You'd copy someone's Basalt on on their turn and go off. You know, you just cast this out of nowhere. Yeah. Or you know, something else, whatever they have out there that's worth copying. But yeah, I think that's enough said. 4-mana guy is Cradle.
It's not terrible. It's not terrible.
Not terrible. Maybe we'll get someone else in the comments that's like, the second you brought Relm sketching on the screen, I immediately turned it off. And it's like, you know what? Good.
You know what? I hope they leave that comment because it forces me to make a short about it because I find it funny.
Oh, I know. we just dunk on ourselves with shorts. Yeah, we need to start doing the shorts of all our shitty, embarrassing moments.
Oh,
that's half the fun.
That would be fun.
Here's going to be an embarrassing one for me potentially. There's like different crystals for each color, and this is the only one that I could see being good. So we have the water crystal, which is 2 and 2 blue for a legendary artifact. Blue spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. So already not terrible. It's a high rate for that. But if an opponent would mill 1 or more cards, they mill that many plus 4 instead. So there's those Arkham Dagson like turbo mill decks. There's another blue commander that does. Am I thinking of the right one? Arkham Dagson?
I think so.
Nope, I'm thinking of a different one. Shit, maybe this is the turbo mill one that people do. But there's another mono blue one. Someone out there will save me in the comments. Maybe. But the like turbo mill strategy, I'd say this goes in it. Again, that's a very fringe strategy, but not terrible. And then it has 4 and 2 blue, tap, each opponent mills cards equal to the number of cards in your hand. So that's just, you know, you could get the engine going with that, but that's less important. I was basically just thinking like, yeah, in that turbo, like in an Arkham Dagson or I can picture the asshole's face on the card. He has like this smug little look on his face. And he's a mono blue commander. Not very good, but I've seen people play him and I've seen him win. So there you go. For the nameless commander that I don't even know, the water crystal is for you. All you mystery commander players out there.
Very descriptive, Ian. He's got a smug little asshole and he's a blue commander.
He doesn't have a smug asshole. Well, we don't know.
He's got a smug little asshole. That's what you've been telling me.
He is a smug asshole.
Sure.
Oh god, we have to cut this. We're already at this point. We have to cut so much. I feel like we've been we're at 35 minutes, and there's maybe like 5 usable minutes so far, which is awesome. Okay. If we think of his name, we'll talk about it.
And just flash him on screen.
Your turn.
Ninja's Blade. So do you like Yuriko? Because this is a job for your. It is a job because it's got job select. This is Ninja's Blade.
A job for you.
For 2 and a black, you get an artifact equipment with job select, which I believe means you create a token and then you equip this to it, but the Oracle text isn't on screen. So,
job search, Pornhub. Are you trying to get a job at Pornhub?
Okay. When this equipment enters, create a 1/1 colorless hero creature token, then attach it to it. So you create a 1/1 hero and you attach the Ninja's Blade to it. Equipped creature gets +1/+1, is a ninja in addition to its other types. It has when this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card, then discard a card. That player loses life equal to the discarded card's mana value. So I felt like this would be good for Yuriko, since Yuriko's running all those really big, expensive lands. It also gives you a ninja that you can use for a Yuriko trigger. And you can just slap it onto one of your unblockable creatures, and bam, you get you can ninjutsu some shit in, or not. I don't know. Yuriko confuses me sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know. This would definitely, like, in my... I have, like, a higher powered, but more like casual themed, like, ninja deck with Yuriko. And this would almost 100% go in just because thematically... I don't know about in the cEDH Yuriko. I don't know. Like, you never know. Like, I haven't... I threw it together one time, and I ended up, like, years ago, and I ended up just missing my casual Yuriko, so I powered it back down. But I don't know. That's one of those things. I don't know, other than, like, some of the main, like, the basic strategies of how, like, hey, you're just trying to disrupt the game and put pressure on everyone's life totals, and then if you get your Thoracle win, cool. Yeah, you're right. It is another ninja. And then you can pressure one player specifically by keep discarding card and, attacking, the turbo player. But yeah, I'd say probably not. But again, I could see someone being like, oh yeah, no, this is really good for whatever reason.
Yeah, something to think about. And
yeah, absolutely.
What a role switch. I'm the one throwing in the fucking fringe card in this fucking set.
I know, I was going to say. And then I didn't do as much preparation. What's going on here?
It just shows that I can contribute sometimes.
You contribute plenty.
Thank you.
You just don't do your homework.
No,
just like when we were in grade school.
Fucking got in so much trouble because of that. And then...
Oh, yeah. They'd make you stay in from recess, which is a horrible thing to do for a kid.
And then in high school, they were like, oh, you're not dumb. You're just really lazy. And I'm like, yep, I know what's going on. I just don't want to do my homework.
And they're like, can you just not be lazy? Nope.
All
right, well, I guess you pass.
All right, well,
yay!
You got C, so you passed. Yeah. Minimal effort.
Good job, you lazy piece of shit.
Yeah. Anyways, moving on. Not much else to say about Mage's Blade. We got Sephiroth, Fabled Soldier. So I don't know if we would.
Yeah, I'll read this one.
Yeah, go ahead.
So we got 2 other in a black, legendary creature, human avatar soldier. It's a 3/3. Whenever Sephiroth enters or attacks, you may sacrifice another creature. If you do, draw a card. Whenever another creature dies, target opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. If this is the 4th time this ability has resolved this turn, transform Sephiroth. And then the transform side is Sephiroth, 1-winged angel, legendary creature, angel nightmare avatar. It's a 5/5 with flying. And he has the ability Supernova. As this creature transforms into Sephiroth, 1-winged angel, you get an emblem with whenever a creature dies, target opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Whenever Sephiroth attacks, you may sacrifice any number of other creatures. If you do, draw that many cards. That's a lot of words. So I played around with this in Celeste briefly, more so just to be like thematically on, flavor wise. Like, hey, it's another Final Fantasy character that also goes into the persist loops that you can, drain everyone. I ended up taking it out. There are better options, but if you want to make one swap for flavor and have 1 meme card in your Celeste deck, I think this is the one to do it with.
I mean, I was thinking even putting this in as a fucking commander, like, potentially.
Oh, Yeah. Go off on that. I'm interested to hear those thoughts.
Because, like, I use... Monoblock has some pretty easy ways of looping, sacrificing, and then bringing back creatures. Like, very easy ways. You got Gravecrawler loops, you got fucking Gary, who does its own thing, and then you got other shit that I can't think of. Like Yawgmoth also does that pretty fucking well. Using Undying and bringing shit back. Now, this would probably work pretty well.
Now, would this go in Yawgmoth?
I might just buy this and put it in my Yawgmoth deck, but you could also run it as a commander, because getting that emblem is just super, super beneficial. Like, that's something that your opponents can't get rid of, and you can summon your Sephiroth again, so you can have 2 triggers, but potentially just even having just one of them permanently on the field, that's really good. And then that it has the added bonus of like getting you some fucking card draw.
Oh, and I just saw that last line. You may sacrifice any number of other creatures if you do. Because I was going to say, that'd be so sick. You sacrifice him, draw a shitload of cards, reanimate him, and then you have that emblem. And if you keep... Because can you get like a duplicate of an emblem?
Yeah. They're not legendary permanents.
Like, is there a way to like turbo into the emblem where it's like, now everyone loses whenever a creature dies? And it is okay. It is target opponent, so it's not everyone, but that's still... Yeah, it'd be interested to see if anyone has any brewers' ideas for this, or like what decks it would get slotted in. Very fringe card, but again, I like it. This is what we talk about. This is what we're here for. If we wanted to just talk about Louisoix' sacrifice, be like, okay, there you go. Here's your fucking set review. Well, it's at the beginning, so.
Well, there you go. You watched it.
All you picky, snub-nosed.
Snub-nosed?
Not snub-nosed. Snobs. Snobby-nosed.
You plebs.
cEDHers. You plebs.
You don't know what a good card is.
You guys can leave after the first 5 minutes. You don't know. This is going to be the best commander.
Mark my words.
I won't say it about this one, but I would say it about Celeste.
Yeah. Anyways, anything else we want to talk about Sephiroth other than art's pretty fucking cool?
I know. And you got the one-winged angel. I like it. That's expensive too. People like that card.
Well,
I guess it's pre-release, so
pre-release bullshit.
Go down.
I can't wait for the prices to go down because I want some of these cards.
Same.
Unlike the last set review.
All right.
Am I right?
Yeah.
All right, Ian. So let's talk about fire magic and why you put this on the list.
Hey, finally, I picked one that you consider shitty. Now, hear me out. So we got fire magic, which is 1 red for an instant, and it's tiered, so you get to choose 1 additional cost, and that's it's like the whole Fyraga, the levels of spells that you get in Final Fantasy. So the first tier is you pay 0 extra, so it's just that 1 initial mana, red. Fire magic deals 1 damage to each creature. That right there is why, boom, sold. 1 red mana, instant speed, 1 damage to every creature. I mean, dude, this like hoses certain decks. Imagine playing against Magda.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck you. Bye, Magda. All your dwarves, all your Magda, gone. And then if you want to, you can pay 2 extra. So you're paying 3 mana for instant. This is where the rates go down, but it'll deal 2 damage to each creature. I mean, there's instances where you don't want to lose all of your shit, but you're like, yeah, I would absolutely kill everyone else. Like all the Draniths, all of the, basically Draneth. No, I'm just kidding. Orcish Bowmasters, goodbye. You know, there's so many one CMC. This is like a Bowmaster's effect, kind of, but in red. Not really. I don't. That's not a good comparison, but you know what I mean. Just pinging down someone's board. It can be super useful, especially if you have a bigger toughness commander. And then you could pay 5 extra, which you probably would never do this. But fire magic deals 3 damage to each creature. I mainly would just put it in the. I would just be using the 0 mana additional ability.
The fire.
On this.
Not fire.
Just
Firaga.
1 damage. Yeah, probably
Firaga.
never Firaga, but Firaga. You might use the 2 mana, deal 2 damage to each creature in certain instances, but the instant speed aspect is just super useful.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, I like the versatility of it. I think you're never gonna do the Viagra. Viagra.
You're never going to use the Viagra ability.
God damn it. But the Fyra and the fire ability, I think you definitely, you can use that to your advantage. I'm not sure if we'll see any play, but I mean, it is an option if you wanted a good burn spell that targets everything.
Absolutely. Like,
it's an option.
I'm just thinking
that's what I'm
Kinnan
saying.
For the Fyra option, that burns Kinnan pretty bad. Kinnan's gone. All the dorks are gone. I mean, yeah. And especially if you have a deck where it's built around not being affected by this.
Yeah.
But, yeah, worth talking about. There's my one hot take for the video. And
fire
it fits. It's exactly. Fire. Hot. Fire's hot. It's my hot take. That made me sound like a complete jackass, but go ahead.
I put this on here for the meme.
It looks like a big green dildo.
Well, now we're definitely not getting monetized for this one.
We say that every time. We're never going to be monetized. That's not what this channel's about.
No, it's not. It's just funny joking about it every time. Jumbo Cactuar is a 5 and 2 green, a plant creature that's a 1/7 and has 10,000 needles. Whenever this creature attacks, it gets plus 9,999 power and plus 0 toughness until end of turn. So you can have a 10,007 on the field.
Now,
I find that funny.
Is there a way to... Oh, yeah, this is hilarious. I know we just put this on here as a joke, but yeah, I had this on my list too, just because I'm sure that, again, not competitive, but like you could play a cEDH deck where you're like, I want to have a meme win, and you reanimate this, so you get it out for really cheap, and then you play one of those spells where you sacrifice target creature or destroy target creature, deal damage equal to its power, to every player or something, and you either give yourself indestructible or like protection, or can't lose the Angel's Grace, or just something silly like that where it's like, hey, I did the thing. And just a plus, like a 10,000 attack creature coming at you, like that's terrifying. I guarantee you everyone would be like, that's so stupid. And then it's like, okay, who am I going to combat? Wait, though, not me.
No.
That's trample now.
That one's got trample.
Flying, so who wants to
it's got horsemanship,
talk
so
the most
deal
shit
with that.
this round? And horsemanship. What a mechanic that'll like banding that's just fucking gone. They were like,
See,
we're not gonna. Even though they were like, Storm was too busted, we could never print cards with the ability Storm on it, and they went and did that again. But yeah, horsemanship and banding, fucking just they pretend like those don't exist.
When are you going to reprint horsemanship? I don't know what you're talking about, sir. We don't have any horsemanship. We're going to print
Jumbo Cactuar with Storm instead.
With Storm. Yeah, I just think this card's funny.
Now that would be scary.
Like, I don't think this is actually worth playing, but it's funny. I totally want to put this in my mono green big stompy boys deck.
What's the one from? Oh, I'm fucking tired. Ether Drift.
Yeah, let's.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Big stompy boys. Yeah, Ovea, Automecha Artisan.
Ovia. Cool.
Ovea? Whatever.
Ovia. All right. That's pretty much it for Jumbo Cactuar.
Moving
Play it if you want
on.
to be a goof.
What? Quina? Gourmet. Is one of my favorite characters out of Final Fantasy IX because she's so weird and dumb, and I love her.
She's trying to get a frog, apparently.
Yeah, her whole shtick is that she likes frogs. So there's a whole like frog catching mini game in Final Fantasy IX. So anyways, for 2 and a green, you get a legendary creature Q. That is a 2/3, and it has if one or more tokens would be created under your control, those tokens plus a 1/1 green frog creature token are created instead. And then the second ability doesn't matter because this goes positive with Worn Soul Trader.
That's what. Okay, yeah, this is definitely like if I know Chatterfang doesn't really see any play, but you could make a cEDH Chatterfang, and this absolutely would go because the whole like creating the additional squirrel tokens. Oh, now you're creating additional this, and yeah, absolutely. So you go infinite.
Well,
like you said, yeah, positive.
Yeah, you don't go infinite because you only have so much life, but you go positive
life. You're right.
Because you keep creating a treasure token every time you sacrifice one of the frogs, and then you create a frog as well. You just keep doing that over and over again until you generate a shit ton of treasure tokens from Worn Soul Trader.
And if this is in Chatterfang, then you have even more. Now you have the squirrel tokens, the treasure tokens, and the frog tokens.
Yeah.
And that can get completely out of... And you do technically have a sack outlet. I guess it's only for the frogs. So you can keep sacking the squirrels, have a shitload of mana. Again, I had a friend with a Chatterfang deck that he made really powerful. And it's like, man, if you make some swaps, you could take this to a cEDH table and people might be like, okay, and not take you seriously. But, if... Again, you're not winning any tournaments, but you can do some damage, man. You can win some games. And that's the thing with the format. You probably don't take some of these decks to a tournament, but do you really want to just play cEDH for fun and just have Kinnan versus TNT versus Blue Farm versus Rogsai forever? No.
Yes.
You want to build the fringe decks and see if you can... Yes. Some people would say that. Those people are dumb. That's what tournaments are for.
That's what tournaments are for. cEDH is
kitchen table, having some beers, playing cEDH. That's what these kind of cards are for,
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, like, there's really not much else to say about Quina. It's just goes positive with Worn Soul Trader. It probably goes positive with some other things. I think Pippin, because Pippin combos with Chatterfang as well. So I think Pippin would work with this as well. I'm not entirely sure. I think Pippin like creates a food token every time you create a token copy, or not token copy, but when you sacrifice something, you create a food token. I can't remember.
And then you make this, and then yeah, that's the other thing. Wait, so with Chatterfang, does that just keep going infinite in the sense that, well, whenever you create a token, this will create a token. Well, whenever you create a token with this one will create a token. I think you just get infinite tokens, right? If you have the Gourmet and Chatterfang
Gourmet. Yeah.
Oh, because it says that many plus this token. So does that count? Does that extra token come out considered? Is there a replacement effect? I think so. So okay, they don't keep seeing. Yeah. So they don't keep seeing each other's. Okay, never mind. I just wanted to make sure. Never mind.
Moving on. The Traveling Chocobo. Ian, why don't you read this card?
Yeah. Okay, so we got 2 and a green for a creature bird. That's a 3/2. And it says you may look at the top card of your library anytime. Cool. You may play lands and cast bird spells from the top of your library. Interesting. If a land or bird you control entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. Great for a bird deck. I have previously been working on like a fun casual bird deck. This is instant include. But the triggering abilities of the lands, did you have anything specifically in mind?
Tatyova, baby.
With this one? Oh, yeah.
Because Tatyova...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you'll get an additional draw trigger from Tatyova because of this.
Hell yeah.
And also being able to play lands on the top of your library. That's not a bad thing to have. But that was the main thing. I think there's not much else you would do with it. Maybe... No, not really. Just Tatyova. That's the only one I can think of.
But yeah, no, good call. I was kind of like, what were you thinking? And then, oh yeah, of course.
Oh yeah, one of the decks that we built on the channel.
I really want them to unban Fast Bond so Andrew can just go nuts with Tatyova. And this is an obvious swap for... There's another card he plays right now that has the lands. You can play them from the top of your library. So that, and then you add the doubling the triggered ability is just boom. Auto swap.
Boom, baby.
Hell yeah. Good spot. Yeah, I saw this and I was like, cool. Cool casual card. Moving on. But yeah, no, Tatyova. Dope.
Yeah, it would make Tatyova a little bit more viable because you'd be drawing significantly more fucking cards with this. Twice as many, in fact. But yeah, if there's anything else, I know there's other things you can do with the Traveling Chocobo, but I can't think of it. So if there is anything else and you know it, just leave a comment below. And we'll love you for it.
Or don't.
Or don't. Or tell us that you fucking stopped watching after we started talking about Traveling Chocobo, and then I'll be like, why did you watch for it?
If they made it this far and they stopped now, I'd be like, what's wrong with you? Why now? What about all the other bullshit cards we mentioned?
Why not Ninja's Blades?
This is the feather that broke the Chocobo's back. Okay. Let's see. No! Spoiler!
Spoiler alert.
So we both individually thought of this separately, and I was hoping you'd miss this so I could surprise you and be like, Serah Farron, what do you think of this?
Serah Farron. All right, so Serah Farron is for a green and a white, you get a legendary human citizen creature that's a 2/2. The first legendary creature spell you cast each turn costs 2 less to cast, and at the beginning of combat on your turn, if you control 2 or more other legendary creatures, you may transform Serah. And Serah's flip side, the crystallized Serah, is a legendary artifact that says the first legendary creature spell you cast each turn costs 2 less to cast, so the same thing as the previous side, and legendary creatures you control get +2/+2. So Ian, what were we thinking when we put this on the list?
Sissay!
Sissay, baby. So Step Sissay
Immediate.
would
loves
love
this card.
Like
Pull up your
the fact
Sissay
that
list, because I know it's very pip intensive, but that 2 less to cast, that is extremely helpful. I know it's not just, I know it's creatures, but even if it just ends up taking off one of the pips, it's
is
still
it just
helpful.
creatures? Yeah, first legendary creature.
Yeah.
Which is fine, because like
Emil costs 2, Najila costs 1, Kutzil just costs 2. You know, like
Marvin's free.
it doesn't help with everything. It doesn't help with like, oh yeah, Marvin's free. It doesn't help with Derevi or Kinnan or things like that, but honestly, and it's another color, and it boosts your Sissay so you can start tutoring for bigger things.
Yeah,
I feel like it gets does it go in Sissay, or is it too competitive of slots at this point? Does it now make other legendary creatures that were maybe too expensive to cast, does it make them more viable now because you have this in the deck?
Maybe.
I don't know.
I think because I have the Cultists of the Absolute line in here, I might just take Cultists of the Absolute because it's kind of doesn't work very well, and Serah does pretty much exactly what I wanted Cultists to do. It just costs a little bit more. But that's fine.
With the boost. So yeah, immediately you get 1 extra for the green, and then you get 2 more. So then Sissay's a 5/5.
The 5/5. Well, yeah. So you get the boost, and then you're more than likely going to have another legendary creature out. Maybe.
So yeah, she might even be a 6/6. I mean, you can get your Emil, you can get any of your creatures at that point. I think just getting, at the very minimum, if you have one other thing, yeah, you can immediately get any permanent. What's the highest CMC spell in your
Chromatic Orrery,
or like legendary? Okay.
So does it get Chromatic Orrery? Because you get plus. It would get +2 from and then +2 from the ability. So it's now a 6/6, and then you just need a red. You need like.
Wait, go back up to Sissay really quick, because you get, it says
+1/+1 for each color.
Each color among. Okay, so she starts at a 3, and then you get plus an additional because of the green +2, so you're at 6, and then in order to flip it anyways, you would need 1 more creature. So you get like a black or a red or a blue. Boom, you have your 7. Are you trying to go for Chromatic Orrery? Is that like if you can get it early, is that worth it? Seems like that's like immediate second activation.
Spend mana. Oh, that's because it's spend mana as low as any color, so that's why. Because now you can generate a shit ton of colorless mana or just any colored mana and then pump it into Sissay. And then it itself is a Sissay activation. So I know there's something with it. I haven't messed around with Sissay for a while. So actually,
I'm not too familiar with it, so
I'm going to remove this card.
Oh, it's Serah with an E instead of that first A. Serah.
Serah?
But it's...
There we go.
I'm pretty
Throwing
sure
it right
it's
in.
pronounced Serah, but... Nice swap. Nice swap, man.
Switch printing. Let's see what we got. Oh, sure. We'll go with borderless. All right. Or extended art. There we go.
Okay, cool.
Next on the list. Golbez Crystal Collector.
Let me talk. Yes, so this one, someone brought up to me. So it's a blue and a black for a 1/4 legendary creature, human wizard. Whenever an artifact you control enters Surveil 1. At the beginning of your end step, if you control 4 or more artifacts, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Then if you control 8 or more artifacts, each opponent loses life equal to that card's power. So they pitched it to me as a polymorph, like a Turbo Dimir polymorph Hullbreaker Horror type deck, where that is what you're going for. Like you're just trying to either that or Thoracle, and you reanimate it, you polymorph into it. That's what you're going for. It's going to be super easy to get the artifact. You just run a shitload of artifacts, and then if you want to try and loop things, and then if you control 8 or more artifacts, each opponent loses life equal to that card's power. I know that's at the end step, but I would have to get them on or ask them more about it. But they pitched this to me the other night, and they were talking about it, and I'm like, damn, you're kind of selling me on this. I wish I had asked them more about it, but yeah, it's interesting. I feel like they're actually going to start brewing this deck, so I'll potentially have more info in the future. And they also did bring up a cool suggestion for the podcast. They were like, hey, I feel like there's not a lot of content regarding whenever a set comes out for cEDH, they'll do the set review, or they'll have a whole video that's talking about one particular commander. But he's like, why don't you have 5 people come on and just talk for 15 minutes about a commander, and each, kind of like what we did with the Hashiton and Ketramos deck tech video, where we each picked one and talked about it, but it's even more rapid fire, and it's more so like an elevator pitch for this is a cool cEDH commander from this set. This is what you do. These are the cards you run. This is the strategy, and then you move on. So, potential future episode.
Potential. I like that idea.
And at the end of the day, this is still just a potential Turbo Dimir Thoracle type thing with the potential to bring back a Hullbreaker or a Razaketh, or Villas or something like that.
Okay.
But yeah.
I like it.
Well, that's pretty much all I have for it.
All right. Yeah, we should have that guy on, and he can talk about this card, because I'd like to see that deck.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
But moving on, we've got everybody's favorite little black mage, Vivi Ornitier. So this is
Ornitier.
1 a blue and a red for a legendary creature wizard. That's a 0/3, and it has, for 0, add X mana in any combination of blue or red, where X is Vivi's power. Activate only during your turn and only once each turn. And then whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put a +1/+1 counter on Vivi, and it deals 1 damage to each opponent. So this comedian put on my radar, and probably a lot of other people's radar on Twitter. But this card's going to be fucking
completely
busted.
broken. like this is one of the most broken things where I'm like that I've seen in a long time. Like just like this is, and I'm not saying it's going to be as good, but like when Kinnan first came out, when I remember I opened a Kinnan, I was opening a box of Ikoria, and I opened Kinnan, and I was like, oh, this card looks cool. And the person, we were like splitting the box, and they were like, yeah, read that shit. And immediately it's like, oh my God, this is just broken, completely broken. I feel this is going to be, I mean, how did they allow this? I mean, I'm pumped. Don't get me wrong. I'm not mad, but I'm like, how the fuck did this get out of the testing? They probably just didn't test. They were like, whatever. That looks
probably
good.
No, they probably made it so
dude,
that you can activate that ability only once each turn, and then people were doing it on everyone's turn, and they were like, oh, yeah, we should probably just make that only on your turn.
Yeah, but oh man, you can if you can just flicker it or destroy it and recast it because you're creating a shitload of mana anyways, or just bounce it to your hand, recast it with all of the, and imagine having something like all the flash effects too. Oh my God, like there's just, I feel like you can just absolutely go off and just put on a clinic.
Like the flash ability, that's not where you really want to go off with this. Like, this is through and through a storm commander, and you're just trying to build up that the +1/+1 counters, just so you can storm off, then produce a shit ton of mana through Vivi, and then storm off again. And meanwhile, you're dealing damage to everybody.
This puts pressure on life totals. I mean,
it's super good.
And it absolutely goes off with Archmage Emeritus, where whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, you draw a card. So it's like, okay, we're just going to keep drawing cards, casting more spells, casting more cantrips, and then, okay, 0 mana, create a shitload of red and blue mana, and I'll Chain of Vapor VV to my hand, I'll recast it, and start going off again, drawing cards, and dealing damage this whole time. Okay, yep, bounce it to my hand, activate the ability, bounce it to my hand, like, holy shit.
Yeah.
This is going to be insane. People have already said, like, I've heard just a couple things of people testing it or playing it, and they're like, it is completely broken.
Vivi is also, just random side tangent, is one of my favorite characters in the Final Fantasy series, just because their story is really kind of depressing, but it's also really good.
Is Vivi in 9?
Yeah, Vivi's in 9. They're your black mage. And
cool.
Yeah, and they're also like one of the more powerful like characters you have. They're just like stuck as a child, kind of. So like
okay.
But like I said, I was like in the last level of 9 right now, like before the final boss, and like Vivi's just been in my party the entire game because they're super fucking good. I mean, black mages are one of my favorite classes, but Vivi in particular, just having that cool story, very depressing story. I love her. I love them.
Awesome. Yeah, this one, I can't wait to see the builds that come out for this. It's going to be... Yeah, that's crazy. I can't believe they printed that. And not like, and again, not angry. Like just, holy shit, is this going to get the Nadu button?
The Nadu button?
Or they just press it.
I wouldn't be surprised
that,
if
like the big red button where it's like, yep, getting the ban immediately. Even though they said they're not going to start do any more bans until next year. I wouldn't be shocked. I'll just put it that way.
I don't know if they would ban it in Commander. I can see this being banned in Standard and like other formats like Modern, maybe, but like in Commander, I think this is perfectly fine. Like, it's not terribly busted. Now, if it becomes like Vivi Summer, where nobody's playing anything but Vivi, then I can see it being like a very heavy ban.
Or
but I don't see that happening.
Similar thing where it creates the unfun play patterns, as they call it, like Nadu, like the manual storm stuff. Can be pretty like rough to sit through. Now, I have some manual, like I was a huge Corvald enjoyer. I loved going off manually and sacrificing and then drawing and then creating more mana and then reanimate this and then do that. Like, I love those play patterns. But yeah, if it gets too out of hand, I could see people complaining about this and then them banning. I hope that doesn't happen. It looks awesome. And again, it could be one of those situations where it's like, well, the solution is you just remove it. If it gets out of control, just Swords to Plowshares it, lightning bolt it the second it hits the field, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. It might turn into that sort of thing, because it's going to be a lot easier to remove once it's played than when you let them do a few things. So it is a kill on sight, I think. Commander. I don't know. Maybe we'll brew it. Maybe we'll talk about it later when it like other people are brewing it. It's going to be an interesting Commander for sure.
Yeah. All right. I think we can move on. We've milked the Vivi cow as much as we can.
All right. Yisholta. Y'shtola. All right, and what does Y'shtola do?
So Y'shtola Knight's Blessed is 1, a white, a blue, and a black. A legendary creature, Cat Warlock. It's a 2/4 with Vigilance. At the beginning of each end step, if a player lost 4 or more life this turn, you draw a card. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell with mana value 3 or greater, Y'shtola deals 2 damage to each opponent and you gain 2 life. I put this on here because a lot of people are bringing this up. I wouldn't. There's way too many other better Esper options. I mean, and for example, if you just watch Play to Win's recent episode, they do bring this card up, and I haven't finished it because I was watching it super late last night. And yeah, no, it's cool, but it's like, just think about all you have Tivit, you have Marnius, you have Malcolm Timna, you've got Rafine, you've got the Master of Keys. No, wait, no, is that Master of Keys.
Yeah.
That's right. I mean, there's just so many better. Zur. I mean, I think this is just like, it's almost there, but there's not enough that it does.
You know what? I just realized. Hilariously, they didn't bring up Hashiton. Like,
oh, you watched the whole video? I didn't know. I'm surprised.
I listened to it. I listen to my podcast while I'm commuting to work because I take the train, and I'm out of hours for Spotify, so I can't listen to Return of the King. So I was listening to them, and yeah, they didn't bring up Hashiton. I think Hashiton was overhyped.
People kind of realize like Hashiton. Yeah. I mean, I think people are also building it wrong and maybe leaning too much into they're building it around Hashiton's ability too much and not like a super fast low to the ground commander, and it gets bogged down. But I don't know. I wasn't too high on Hashiton, but it did look cool. I feel like there's a way to make it better, but yeah, I think people leaned into I can create copies of these giant creatures. But then if you have a deck with too many of those, and again, you're not playing, it's not like Kinnan where I have a shitload of mana. And even in Kinnan, even the big flip Kinnan decks don't have like a shitload of them, because too many, it gets to a point where it's like, what if you have a bunch of these and you're drawing a bunch of those at the beginning of the game, and it's like, no, I want value pieces. I want explosive ramp and draw engines, not a bunch of giant creatures.
Yeah.
But yeah, Y'shtola, I just think that the 4 or more life you draw a card, it's just like, if it's each end step, but how many turns is that happening where it's like, yeah, you might draw an extra card on a turn cycle. You can get it on your turn for sure. If you attack, it's a little more likely, but it's just like a slower, awkward Tymna that isn't guaranteed and you have no control over because it's on all the other turns. And then the non-creature spell with mana value 3 or greater, is there an infinite outlet where you're casting something infinitely? But I don't know. I just don't think it's very good. I think people saw a cute cat lady and Esper and they're like, holy shit. And draw a card. They saw cat, Esper,
cat
draw.
girl, wizard, warlock. Sorry. Cat girl, warlock, draw a card. You have me sold. Say less.
Say less. That's why everyone was on this card. But use your judgment. This is the whole thing about, and we're going to cut this out, but this is the whole thing about don't stick your thing in crazy. This is sticking your ding-a-ling in crazy. I'll just leave it there.
You can't say that.
Moving on. Why can't we say ding-a-ling?
I don't know.
We can say ding-dong, but we can't say ding-a-ling. Feels unfair.
That's offensive to all the ding-dongs out there.
There's a lot of ding-dongs out there. All right, let's move on before we get ourselves in trouble.
Yeah. All right. Celeste Rune Knight. Let's go.
This is one. This is one that no one would blame you.
For dipping your ding-dong in?
Yeah. But using that as a metaphor for playing it as a cEDH commander, not,
No, of course.
Not the overtly sexual implications of that.
All right, so let's
just read this before we get ourselves in trouble. I'm really holding my tongue right
now. Celeste Rune Knight is 1 red, white, and black. For a legendary human wizard knight creature, that's a 4/4, and then whenever it enters, discard any number of cards, then draw that many cards +1. Whenever 1 or more creatures you control enter, if 1 or more of them were entered from the graveyard or was cast from a graveyard, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Now this thing goes fucking buck wild. It's got so many options. It can facilitate so many counters. Like everything you want with Dualcaster Mage just goes crazy with this, because you can just choose to flicker it and then get another draw trigger. I think we played a game last night where I was playing Celeste and I just casted Celeste, made a copy of Celeste, and then casted Celeste again after sacrificing it, and so we had 3 Celeste triggers, ended up pulling out a fucking win out of my ass from that.
Oh yeah. It's just a wheel effect that for you that you get to choose. You can play. I mean, obviously, it's incredible with Underworld Breach. You're loading up your graveyard. The persist combos because of the creatures coming out of the graveyard entering with a +1/+1 counter, but you get it on every creature you control. So just like the side, added benefit of pumping up your board, you've got the persist combos where all you have to do is have something that deals damage or on LTB or ETB or death or enter or whatever, and infinite persist, triggers and death triggers and ping everyone to death, drain all their life. Like you said, all the dual caster combos like Twin Flame, you just cast this targeting Celeste, you get an extra trigger. Then you do it again with a Molten Duplication or whatever. I mean, Abdel Adrian, you just keep flickering, all the other permanents with the Animate Dead Abdel Adrian style combos, and you just keep having Celeste enter. You have Ephemerate, Cloud Shift, Flicker. I mean, there's a billion ways to just go off with this. There's so many combos, and it's a deck where you can actually play all of those combos and they're not dead cards because, when a lot of new cEDH players come in, and for example, I'll use my original Kinnan deck. I had, of course, Basalt and Kinnan, and then I had Hullbreaker Horror when that came out, and then I had Freed from the Real and the Pemmons Aura, which is similar to Freed from the Real, and all these other things, and all these extra combos, and it gets to a point where it's like, dude, you just don't need all those combos. You want some compact combos and all of the engines and the protection spells and the bursts of mana to accelerate there. You don't want to jam too many combos in a deck because then you draw combo pieces that don't synergize with each other. But in Celeste, they all fucking do. Like, all those cards just work with themselves. They work with other strategies in the deck, and they all work with Celeste. It's crazy. It's absolutely insane. The layered combos in this deck. People are still you can run Hoarding Broodlord lines because sawing in half Celeste and getting 2 more triggers back to back. I mean, it's insane. We have a whole video on it that we can link in the description of this one. But go watch that. We could gush about Celeste forever. We both immediately fell in love with this card. And I'll say it again. It's the best. It's going to be the best Mardu option. All you fucking pricks out there that say, no, it's just a worse Dihada. Wait. Yeah, let's wait and see. Maybe I'll eat my words. And I will admit it when I do. But fuck no. I think this is incredible.
I think the best thing about this card is that there are multiple ways of building it. You can do mid-range or you can do turbo. And that's what I really like about it.
Yeah, and both are viable. I leaned more towards the turbo because I know you were doing mid-range. And I'm like, let's just see if a turbo Naws breach works. I know some lists I see that are more towards mid-range, but they still run ad Naws because they're like, well, soon as I see my Hoarding Broodlord is in the graveyard, I'm not as scared. And again, you don't need to draw as many off of Adnaz, even if because you have like Razaketh and Broodlord and some other, a higher curve in general. Let's say instead of drawing like 25 cards or 30 cards, you draw like 15 cards. Well, okay, Ephemerate Celeste, and well, I can discard 14 cards or 13 or the whole hand and draw 15, 16 more. And then, there's my breach. Yeah. And I have 30 cards in my graveyard. Let's go. Seriously, so easy to just shit out wins with this card. It feels like, just like how breach is kind of like, oops, I just tripped and fell into a win. That's what this whole commander is.
Yep, pretty much.
It is oopsies.
Well,
it's so good. I feel like I was yelling.
You were yelling.
Because I'm so excited about this.
Ian, calm down.
Calm down. All right, I'm calm.
All right, I'm calm. I'm sorry. All right, moving on. Celeste Knight. It's going to kick ass. Now we got Terra, Herald of Hope.
So there's multiple Terras. The reason I put this on here is because we played against someone that built this. Didn't we? I swear. We were playing against... our Nebraska friend. And we're sorry for saying Nebraska sucks. It's a good place. We love Nebraska.
I'm gonna hold my tongue.
I'm pretty sure I know there was multiple people playing, and I'm pretty sure they played Terra, and it was actually surprisingly good. And I was like, okay, this is interesting. But yeah, Trevor, read this card.
Yeah, noble build Terra from Elder Brewer.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
Okay. So Terra is Mardu, so red, white, and black. You get a legendary human wizard warrior creature. There's a 3/3. It's got trance. So at the beginning of combat on your turn, mill 2 cards. Terra gains flying until end of turn. That's cute. Whenever Terra deals combat damage to a player, you may pay 2. When you do, return target creature card with power 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Okay. Oh,
so
yeah, that's
this
right.
reminds me of Alicia.
So we were playing against, I believe we were playing against Noble, and I ended up doing like turn 1 Grafdigger's Cage and just completely shut off this deck, and then we weren't able to see it pop off.
I thought maybe in a second game, but I feel like we played multiple games, and there was one where it was doing pretty good, where it was like, oh man, it was bringing back like, okay, there's my Dranith on the battlefield, there's an Orcish Bowmasters, and I was like, oh shit. Now, do I think this is going to be super powerful? No. Like, compared to Celeste is, easily the better option for Mardu. But it's still a fun... It reminds me of Alicia, who smiles at death. The one where you bring back... The only thing that's slightly less shitty is Alicia doesn't need to deal combat damage, and it brings back something tapped and attacking. So... slightly worse, but it does fill your graveyard, goes along with the Mardu strategies. Worth bringing up. There's also a better Terra later in the video.
Which I think is next, because we don't have that much more, right?
Yeah. No, we're actually not crazily over the limit for once.
Thank God, because...
Plus I have to cut out like 25 minutes of the first 30 minutes. Because we were just fucking rambling about nonsense. Spoilers? Aww!
We have quite a few. Spoilers!
Okay.
Let's do a lightning round, because I actually need to wrap this up.
Oh, shit. Okay. We'll do Kefka, Court Mage, is 2, blue, black, red, legendary creature, human wizard. It's a 4/5, and whenever Kefka enters, I caught it.
He's a master
whenever
of
it enters
riz.
or attacks, wizard. Each player discards a card. Then you draw a card for each card type among cards discarded this way. Pay 8 colorless, or just 8 generic. Each opponent sacrifices a permanent of their choice. Transform Kefka. Master Wizard, activate only as a sorcery. So then it flips. I mean, with that makeup, who knows? And then that jawline, whoa! Look at that Riz right there. Kefka, ruler of Rune, legendary creature, avatar wizard, it's a 5/7, flying. Whenever an opponent loses life during your turn, you draw that many cards.
Yeah.
So, lots of cool potential here, but my only thing is, you're in Grixis colors. What is the play here? Because it's kind of like there's a lot of other options in Grixis.
Yeah, that's true. But, you've got the card draw that it facilitates. Like, you're going to draw at least, 2 cards a turn. Like, your opponents can all communicate with each other and be like, okay, but we're all just going to get rid of an instant. We're all going to get rid of, a land card.
But someone might not have it. So
exactly.
it's like...
Someone might not have it, or, you know, you can just be like, I'll just get rid of anything. It doesn't matter. Like, you're at least going to get about 2 cards each turn from Kefka. And then getting 8 in Grixis is not that hard because you're just ramping pretty quickly. Like, you don't have the ramp ability of, like, green, but you have the explosiveness of using rituals like Rite of Flame and Dark Ritual and Cabal Ritual, all that shit. The Cabal Ritual will probably be really good in this fucking deck. And then you can flip it pretty easily, and then just whenever an opponent loses life during your turn, draw that many cards. You're going to probably facilitate a lot of ways of dealing damage to your opponents. So I feel like it's going to be...
And just, or in a 5/7 flyer, that's 5 cards right there, basically. It's just a little slow and clunky for me. It's so... If there was some sort of, like, requirement to flip it that wasn't fucking 8 mana, that would be so much better.
I mean, yeah,
I'd rather the front side be shittier. Because if this was just blue, black, red for a 1/3 or something, and then whenever you draw, if you were to draw 4 or more cards this turn, flip it, you know, then that would be something like that, where it was easier to flip. Or if it said at the beginning of the end step or something, or at the beginning of combat on your turn, check how many card types are among cards in graveyard. If there are 4 or more card types, transform Kefka. And then you get a 5/7 on your right at the beginning of combat to draw a card. I mean, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's so close. I would build this in like a high power casual for sure. This seems like really fun.
You know what? I'm going to build this, and I'm going to kick your ass with Kefka.
Do it. Do it. You son of a bitch. You do it.
I fucking will.
Be the master. Show me your master Riz.
My human wizard.
Human wizard. I sound like a drunk. I'm like slurred my speech. No alcohol for me. Right. Just coffee this morning.
Just coffee with a bit of whiskey. No, nothing major.
No whiskey.
Oh, no.
At home. I do have some vodka downstairs. But, can you imagine putting a shot of vodka in coffee? Holy shit, would that be gross.
Gross. You know, I drink my coffee black, and, like, the other day I had a macchiato, and there was too much fucking cream and too much sugar in it for my taste. I thought it was good.
Dude, once you drink black coffee, dude, I know what you mean, man. Like, I mostly drink black coffee as well. Every once in a while, if I'm out somewhere and it's like, yeah, I'll get some vanilla iced coffee or something, just for like if I have a sweet tooth or something. And most of the time I end up being like, whoa, dude, that's just way too much. Yeah. Like, just like a little bit of sugar, a little bit of cream goes a long way.
Oh yeah, for sure. All right. Moving on.
A little bit of Kefka's cream. Okay. Moving on.
Terra Magical
We got
Adept.
Terra Magical Adept. It's 1, a red, and a green. Is it a Gruul commander? What? No?
Wait,
but before we get there...
no,
it's not. It's all color. So maybe... Could this go in Sisay? I don't know. I haven't even read it yet. Legendary creature, human wizard warrior. It's a 4/2. When Terra enters, mill 5 cards, put up to 1 enchantment card. It's an enchantress type thing. Up to this way into your hand. It has the ability Trance, which is 4, a red and a green. Tap it, exile Terra, then return it to the battlefield transformed under its owner's control. Activate only as a sorcery. And then you have Esper Terra, which is cool because it has added the Esper colors. and it's a saga, legendary enchantment creature, saga wizard. Jesus. Okay. Flying 6/6, and chapters 1, 2, and 3 have create a token that's a copy of target non-legendary enchantment you control. It gains haste. If it's a saga, put up to 3 lore counters on it. Sacrifice it at the beginning of your next end step. Oh man, I was going to say that would be awesome if you could get copies of Rhystic Study.
Oh, yeah.
But the sacrifice at the end step. Well, maybe if you end the turn with the Ultima spell, you get to keep it.
Yeah, I mean, there you go. Reason to run Ultima.
Which is in the background, peeking around the whole fuck. I'm cutting this out. Seeing fucking Ultima in the background the whole time. There's like a big middle finger. So that's getting cut out. You're just going to see this part of the fucking screen. Just this box right here.
Ultima's just peeking his head out like, hey, remember when you said I was good? Thank you.
Do you remember? You remember that?
Remember
that? And then chapter 4 is add 2 white, 2 blue, 2 black, 2 red, and 2 green. Exile Esper Terra, and then return it to the battlefield. Front face up. Interesting. I have a friend, and she is super into enchantments, and she has a 5-color Enchantress deck. I actually talked with her, and she would totally come on the podcast.
Hell yeah.
It's, you know them. It's Ray, or Raylene.
Raylene, yeah. Raylene's cool.
She has a very interesting 5-color Enchantress deck. I want to know if she would play this, because it's an enchantment. Now, the only problem is this side isn't a legendary creature enchantment, and I can't think of the name, but it's the Wooburg commander, where when it enters the battlefield, you look at the top 7 cards of your library, and you can put any number of them that are enchantments into your hand. Rest go on the bottom. So super easy to get. I mean, I think she runs like 40 enchantments in the deck.
Damn.
And there's a ton of these cool enchantment combos, and of course like Stony Silence and like these stacks pieces and Blind Obedience, and it gets out of control very fast, and it's like, oh shit, we have to stop this. Now, everyone that knows the deck is like terrified of it. And even though I know the deck, I'm like, come on, it's not that bad. Like, let's not just start wasting our counter spells and everything. And then it's like, oh, we fucked up. So I'd be curious to hear if she was interested in this, but because you wouldn't be able to put it in your hand off of the effect, I don't know. But either way, we should have her on for their deck. That would be a cool deck tech video.
Hell yeah.
Already talked with her. She's down.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. A lot of people seem hot on this card. I'm so, but it's cool.
Center of the road with it. I don't think it's terrible. I don't think it's that good.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you.
Moving on.
All right. Lightning round. Let's keep going.
The Wandering Minstrel.
So, yeah, you read this.
So for green and blue, you get a legendary creature, Human Bard, that is 1/3. That lands you control enter untapped. Cool. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you control 5 or more towns, create a 2/2 elemental creature token. That's all colors. And then it's got for 3 in Wooburg, other creatures you control get +X/+X until end of turn, where X is the number of towns you control. Why? Ian, did you put this on the list?
So someone was telling me about this, and they're like, okay, so remember that card I brought up earlier, the Surveil one?
Yeah.
You run all 10 fetches. You run some of the duels that are really important, but you run all of 10 Surveil lands.
Okay.
You could also do since it's 2 CMC commander, you could have Luris as your companion and do a 5-color Turbo Naz Luris deck. Do you remember that other one? It was like Jensen. TG Commander. I don't remember what it's called. I think it's this one. Yeah. Carthalion. Jensen, Carthalion, Druid, Exile. People would do this as a Luris companion commander, and it was like a Turbo Naz, super low to the ground type commander. But this could kind of fill that slot if they wanted. I mean, again, it's not like super competitive or anything, but it was just an interesting idea of like, okay, now all your surveil lands enter untapped. All those other land, all the MDFCs that are like that Valkut's Awakening, where it's basically a wheel effect, but it's a tapped red land.
Yeah.
But now it enters untapped. I mean, there's some goofy things you can do with this. Again, this is another one where I'd want to hear someone's build of it, but people are talking about this one, and they seem pretty high on it.
Okay.
But that's about it. Just wanted to throw that one out there. Comment if you're one of those people.
I think it's cute. Moving on.
You know what? You don't have to be condescending. You don't have to be like this. You know what? Oh, yeah, let's talk about this one. This is a cute one, isn't it?
Okay, so Adventure's Airship. I was thinking, let me read it first. It's a 3-drop it's an artifact vehicle. It's got 3/2 and flying, and when this vehicle attacks, draw a card, then discard a card, and it's got crew 2. I was mainly thinking Magda, but I think we were discussing this before we started recording, and there is a card that's actually better. Or does the exact same thing, but for 2?
Yes. So you are absolutely right that this is like totally has Magda written all over it. Now, unfortunately, Smuggler's Copter is 2 mana instead for an artifact vehicle. And instead of a 3/2, it's a 3/3. It also has flying, and it has the same text of whenever it attacks, but also blocks. You may draw a card and discard a card. And then it's crew for 1. So basically just better in every facet. So yeah, it's cute.
Okay, moving on.
It doesn't feel good. No, but here, really quick. Just to put it out there, if you really like the Smuggler's Copter effect in Magda to the point where you're willing to pay 1 extra mana just to get it, you really like that draw discard to dig deeper in your deck, worth including a second one. But if you're thinking about this one, Smuggler's Copter is better. But if you want the second copy of it, worth thinking about. Just wanted to throw that out there. I was being a dick to prove a point,
that's all right.
But that's actually not a bad mention at all. Okay, and here's I wanted to put 1 land on here. Starting town, it enters tapped unless it's your first, second, or third turn of the game. Tap to add colorless. Tap, pay a life, add 1 mana of any color. Just for the higher color turbo decks where you're where you don't care about lands later in the game, and you just want as many Wooburg lands, that are tapped for any color you want. You're trying to win with Thoracle or Breach on the first, on turn 2 or 3. Worth thinking about.
Yeah, I think it's decent. I don't like the fact that it comes in tapped after your 3rd turn, but, it's good. I would run this. Maybe not in my Tivit list, but I would run this.
Yeah, I would, like in Rogsai, I'd run it.
Yeah, in a deck trying to go faster, I would totally
And
run this.
is that our last one? Oh no, this one. Someone asked, they said Kinnan ? And unfortunately, it's just not good enough. It's The Void Winnower 9 mana slot is just so much better. That one's absolutely devastating. While this one does flip off of Kinnan and destroy up to 1 target non-land permanent, and then the next turn, well, I guess I should read it. It's Summon Bahamut for 9 mana. It's an enchantment creature, Saga Dragon, 9/9 with flying. But it's also a saga. So enters, destroys up to 1 target non-land permanent. Next chapter, same thing, destroys up to 1 target non-land permanent. Chapter 3, draw 2 cards. Chapter 4 is Mega Flare. This creature deals damage equal to the total mana value of other permanents you control to each opponent. Now, yes, this could be... You could easily have like 30 mana value on board and just completely kill your opponents. But it takes 4 turns to get there. And people, if knowing that this is coming... First of all, it's like you should probably be winning. If you're at the point where you're flipping Kinnan into something like this, you're better. Like if you can't win in the next 4 turns, you're probably not having some crazy board state. You probably are losing or something bad happened. But yes, I could totally see, and I'm not mentioning this to say that person who brought this up was wrong.
Idiot.
They're not a Kinnan player. They were just like, hey, did you see this? Is this a Kinnan card? And I would just say no. It's just a little too slow, but
yeah, that's the problem.
Cool effect. Sagas. I mean, the like fantasy. What was that?
That's the problem with sagas. Like a lot of sagas are really cool, but they're just too slow. At least for our format.
Exactly. But guess what? You know what they're not as slow as? Start your engine!
Oh, yeah, God. Thanks for reminding me.
Where are all the people that were pissed at me for saying that Start Your Engine sucks? I don't hear anyone I haven't heard one fucking person bring up Start Your Engines.
You know what's
one time
funny
since Ether Drift came out.
I play... Like, every once in a while, playing Arena, I'll see a fucking Start Your Engines thing, and I'm like, oh, they're playing that. And then they get up to, like, max speed, and really nothing happens. And I'm just like, cool, I'm glad you wasted your fucking shit with
It's not even good in the format it was designed for.
It's not. Like, I'm sure there's something you can do
when
with
people...
it, but, like, no, it's not that good.
Oh, it's fucking awful. And, dude, I never like to think about this type of thing so much. I mean, if anything, the negative comments are really funny to me. But when we released the short where we were talking about Start Your Engines and where we're just laughing and dunking on how terrible it is, there were some people that were pissed. People were like, dude, that's a dumb L take. And it's like, yeah, how many fucking Start Your Engine cards are ran in cEDH? I haven't seen a single one. I haven't heard a single person mention it or talk about it as a mechanic that's at all useful. I just want to know where those people are now.
Where are you?
Where'd you
so
go?
I can find you. And I can give you a hug.
Where are you so I can find you? Should I be a dick? Should I stir up some shit and comment on our own thing and be like, hey, where are all you fuckers?
You know what?
Talk to all that shit.
You know what, Ian? Do it. Why not? It'll be funny.
Oh, probably not. No, I might.
You feeling confrontational? Just do it.
If I feel confrontational one day. No, I'm just all in good fun. I don't care. People, it's fun to talk shit. It's fun to bicker a little bit. All in good fun, though.
All right. And
I think that's it.
We'll end with the best card in the set.
The ultimate card.
Which is Ultima. On screen for you. But, Ian, were you aware that we have social media platforms? Or not? I guess we don't have them, but we have. We are on them.
We have social media.
Yeah, we've got a Twitter, and we've got a Blue Sky, and we've got an Instagram, and a TikTok sometimes. And you can follow us on that. You can also like and subscribe to this video because it helps us out, and it gives us great joy to see our videos getting actual views. And what else? We have a No, we don't have a Discord yet. We might have a Discord soon, though.
We should. We might have it by the time this comes out, because someone commented and asked if we had one, and we were like, oh, yeah, we should. We should call it like the cEDH temple or something.
Ooh, I like that. Okay, so
the synagogue. The synagogue of cEDH.
the
Something like that.
of cEDH.
The cEDH synagogue.
Okay, well, look for the synagogue's link. Probably in the if we haven't made by the time this video comes out, we'll put it in the description. But so we might have a Discord. We do have a Patreon. If you want to support us by just donating $1, it helps by and just pays the bills for the cheap cost of putting this on Spotify. So you don't really have to.
Helps keep my lights on and my AC running. I might melt if you guys don't donate.
Oh.
All my ice cream will melt.
Speaking of which, dude, it is hot as balls where I live right now. Like,
oh, is it?
Yeah, like,
what is the
and
temperature?
It's crazy.
It's only 80 by me.
It was like 80 on Tuesday, but it fucking felt like 100. Honestly, it was so hot.
Oh my god, that's awful.
Yeah. Anyways, I love you, brother.
I love you too, brother. All right, I think we're good.
Oh yeah, we're good.
Have an ultima day, everyone.
It's time to end the turn. See you in hell.